Order the regular Board of Education meeting, Wednesday, November 20th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. If we could please rise to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Berger is stuck in traffic. Ms. Conway?
Here.
Mr. Corey is excused. Mr. Cronin?
Here.
Mr. Pettis?
Here.
Mr. Ugolito is excused. Ms. Homan here. Mr. Kisco?
Here.
Mr. Knight?
Here.
Mr. Putnam?
Here.
Mayor Carbone, our representative?
I'm here.
Thank you. Ms. Ferguson?
Here.
Ms. Klemazewski?
Steve Barton.
Ms. Labby? Here. Mr. Pagola?
Here.
Ms. Schulte?
Here.
Ms. Fiens?
Here.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
And let the record show that Mr. Berger is here.
No longer stuck.
All set.
All right, school community service, public participation. Marissa, do you have anyone on the list? Oh, I'm sorry, while you look, go ahead. Is there a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, Jason. Okay. School community service, public participation. We do have one person signed up, Jason Lafreniere, so I'm going to read the paragraph. The board invites members of the community to speak on topics to be addressed in the agenda or on other topics of interest. Individuals wishing to make comments are requested to fill out the speaker sign-up sheet, including name and address, which must be stated at the beginning of your comment. The board will not allow comments regarding specific staff members, parents, students, or personal grievances. Courtesy is expected in this limited public forum. The participating time will be limited to 3 minutes per person and 10 minutes overall to guarantee efficient operation of the entire meeting. Mr. Lafreniere?
Good evening, Jason Lafreniere, Byron Drive, Granbury, Connecticut, special education teacher at Torrington Middle School for the past 21 years. I had a great opportunity to tour a new facility a couple weeks ago, and I'm very excited to be able to move into that building in the fall. And it does a great job of incorporating our Torrington T logo and the new official maroon color of our district in both the 9 through 12 building, the Board of Ed portion of the building, and the 7 through 8 building. With the reconfiguring of our educational facilities coming up in the fall, now seems to be a perfect time for a complete unification of our branding. A previous administrator made a comment at a Board of Ed meeting that has stuck with me ever since. Are we a district of schools or a school district? I would like to think that we are a school district. I've gotten a sense listening to some of these board meetings and some members of the board over the past year that we're not taking what we'll call the new facility or the building on Middle School Drive worthy of discussion or consideration. It seems that there is confusion on where such a decision comes from. For those of us who work in the building, for those of us who are invested in the district, this is an important decision. This is something that helps us to connect our students to something bigger than themselves. It gives them Raider pride. I have here a petition that I will present to the board, signed by 94 Torrington employees, public school employees, asking for the unification of our colors and mascot. If not district-wide, then specifically for the new grade 7, grade 8 building to tie in with the Torrington High School building. I'll take a moment to read the petition with reasoning behind the request. I'm sure that these are not the only individuals that feel strongly about such a move, and I'm sure that there are some that don't agree with such a move. We, the undersigned Torrington Middle School staff and Torrington Public School employees respectfully request that all schools within the Torrington Public Schools District adopt the Raiders mascot in the maroon and white color scheme, currently represented by Torrington High School. This change, especially at the new 7 through 8 Torrington Middle School, would foster a stronger sense of community and continuity for students, while also creating opportunities for financial savings. The benefits of this district-wide alignment include uniformity and cohesion through the district. Establishing a unified mascot and color scheme across all schools will build a continuous identity that connects students, staff, and families across grade levels. This alignment supports a shared tradition and reinforces the pride students feel as part of the Torrington community from elementary through high school. Enhanced sense of belonging and school spirit, especially at the new middle school. The new middle school offers an ideal opportunity to implement this unified identity. By adopting the high school's Raiders mascot in maroon and white colors at the middle school, students will experience a smooth transition between schools, fostering a sense of belonging that strengthens engagement and school pride. Financial savings for the district. A consistent mascot and color scheme across the district results in significant cost savings on sports uniforms, printed materials, and branding. Standardizing colors and design simplifies purchasing, reduces the need for custom orders, and allows the district to buy in bulk, leading to lower costs for uniforms, signage, and school supplies. Improve student retention and engagement. A unified mascot and color encourages students to identify with their schools and classmates throughout their educational journey. This sense of continuity can increase student retention within the district and foster greater involvement in academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities. Consistent design and branding. The design of the new middle school building includes elements that align well with the high school's maroon and white color scheme. Extending these colors district-wide ensures that uniforms, spirit wear, signage, and event themes maintain a cohesive Torrington identity, presenting a unified brand to the entire community. In summary, we believe that adopting a district-wide mascot and color scheme, especially for the new middle school, will provide lasting benefits for students, families, and staff while offering financial savings. We ask the Torrington Public Schools Administration and Board of Education to consider this step toward a unified, cost-effective, and enduring Torrington school identity. I know that I'm hearing that elementary school kids may be upset if they lose their mascot, but I don't know why the Raider mascot or name couldn't be tied into those figures that represent those elementary schools and such.
Thank you.
I'm assuming I should give this to
Give it to
Marissa.
Marissa for now, yeah, thank you
Perfect,
so
thank
much.
you.
We'll take it into consideration
Thank you.
for sure, thank you. Okay. Waiting for it to speak up. All right. Recognitions. Fun part.
Good evening. We have several recognitions tonight. Dr. Torres, I believe you're up first. If you come on down.
Where should I? Where do you want me to stand?
Right there, wherever you'd like, it's good.
All right, so for Torrington High School, it's my honor to recognize Catherine Haas Phillips. Tonight, Catherine has been named the CT Colt 2024-25 Teacher of the Year. As a Spanish teacher of 13 years at both the middle and high school levels, Catherine is passionate about language learning advocacy and strives to ensure that her classroom is a place where all students feel safe and welcome. Her goal is for her students to leave the classroom with not only increased linguistic skills, but also the cultural competence needed to transform their attitudes, beliefs, and understanding of the world. Catherine is known for innovative teaching methods, genuine concern for students' well-being, and tireless advocacy for language learning. Catherine was recently recognized and presented at the CT Colt conference this year, and her presentation was so great that she was actually chosen as best in conference. Her presentation was on accountable talk in world language classrooms. She's also been nominated for the NECVL Teacher of the Year Award and will be presenting at that conference as well. And she's in the process of completing her portfolio for that Teacher of the Year nomination. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating Catherine Haas Phillips, both on her exceptional teaching, her Teacher of the Year Award, and her nomination, and on her very recent wedding. So congratulations, Catherine.
We'll go this corner, it's perfect tonight.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Michelson.
Great, well, I'm delighted to celebrate a couple of wonderful people in our building for their dedication and work in our library media center. First, Paula Gajewski, who is our library media specialist, and for Edie Williams, who is our paraeducator. So I wrote some things down, but I'm just going to talk. So really, Paula is brand new in our library media center this year, and the changes that have happened in the short time that she's been there have been incredible. First and foremost, Edie and Paula have become this great cohesive team. They work together. Edie is busier than ever, but I think loves it. And Paula has just taken our library and transformed it. And some of the things that she's already started is really making it a place where kids want to go, want to read, want to get a book, and they walk out of the library with one in their hand, so excited. And partially that's Edie checking them out and making them feel excited about it as well. Another thing that they've begun, and I keep telling Paul, you can't do everything before Christmas, at least give it a little time, but they started creating a maker space in our library. Cleared out some shelves, made a space, started collecting things so kids will be in there, not just reading books, but also hands-on, maybe filming some things, working with materials that we collect and making beautiful art out of it. But my favorite thing is, and I think the last visit from the superintendent, I demonstrated this. If you say to a group of kids in our school, whose library is it? Every time, every one of them will say, it's our library. And it's really become owned, and I know even going to be better from here. The walls are blanker than they ever were, but they're starting to get filled with student work. So thank you both. You're a team in our library, and we appreciate all you do.
No, it's okay. I'm just asking because I don't know. That wide angle. I'm good without it.
Thank you.
Dr. Buchanan, you're up.
Good evening. So I have the honor tonight to recognize the head custodian at Southwest School. A lot of people, what they don't know about Tom Olivero, he has a hidden passion to be very respectful to anyone in the military. And every Veterans Day, every Memorial Day, our school looks like you're walking into a museum. There are 5 mannequins in full dress uniform representing each branch. Our display cabinets have pictures and dog tags and all this memorabilia. He goes all throughout the state and collects things at different tag sales, and he's just very, very passionate about it. He's got members of his family who are in the military. His wife Denise is tonight. She's a veteran. She's with us, so we thank her for her service as well. But I'm so grateful that Tom has such a passion, and our kids are so respectful of what he puts together each holiday. So it's time to recognize and thank Tom Olivero for his passion. He doesn't like recognition, so this is kind of fun.
I have the privilege of being able to recognize one of our new employees to Forbes and also has been at Torrington for a while as one of our deans. My pleasure tonight is to introduce Sean Caviston, who is the supervisor of special ed services at Forbes. Sean has been an awesome presence in being able to be in all of our BSTs, our SSTs, our PPTs. He's been a huge presence at building a student-centered approach at Forbes, and the work that he does with our team there has been tremendous, and the work that he does with our families to build coherence has been absolutely amazing. So thank you, Sean, for all that you do. And we really appreciate it.
That's it for the recognitions this evening.
Excellent. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you for everyone, for all that you do for us. Let's see, student representatives report. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming tonight. You can start whenever you're ready. Little twist on things tonight.
Do they usually say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
it
comfortable
does
saying.
work.
You're standing now, so.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, hi, my name is Michael Allo. My name is Luis Hernandez. And we will be your student presenters tonight.
In classroom news, Ms. Brewer organized a unique opportunity for her UConn Allied Health Professional class as Lifestar landed on our fields for the second year in a row. This hands-on experience allowed students to speak with medical professionals involved with Lifestar, including paramedics, nurses, and flight doctors. This month, they also hosted Justin Rarick, a respiratory therapist with Harvard Healthcare, and Tim Gregus, a surgical technologist with Manchester Community College. These visits allowed students to learn about specialized career in healthcare.
In UConn Italian 4, students participated in a field trip to UConn for Quiz Bowl Day and to explore the campus. This event gave students the chance to gain valuable insight into college life and academics. Our English students also took a field trip this past month to the Hartford stage, where they experienced a live theater performance, enhancing their understanding of literature and performing arts while exposing them to potential careers in the theater industry.
Our JROTC program held a Veterans Day ceremony featuring a presentation of the colors, a national anthem performance by the chorus, and a speech by Angel Martinez. Mr. Scott also provided remarks to honor veterans. The JROTC and Chamber Choir also took field trips to Forbes and Global Wetmore schools to assist with their Veteran Day ceremonies. These events provided students with an opportunity to connect with local veterans and learn about military and civic careers.
In other news, THS students participated in a community service project volunteering to transport over 200 donations for the Hurricane Helen Disaster Relief Initiative, organized by the Torrington Elks Club and their youth branch, the Antlers Club. This project provided students with the opportunity to get engaged in meaningful community outreach while learning about careers in social services, nonprofit organizations, and disaster relief.
In athletic news, almost all fall sports have wrapped up their seasons. Notably, the boys soccer team earned a playoff spot before eventually concluding their season. As of now, the boys football team looks to finish their season strong off against Watertown High School on Thanksgiving Day. Currently, the boys stand at 8-1 after last Friday's game against Wilby. The football team hopes to have your support as they prepare for Thanksgiving and playoffs.
Thank you for listening, and that concludes our Torrington High School School Board report.
Thank you so much. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to.
Say no more.
Thank you so much. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, information and action. We'll move on to reports and start with the superintendent's report.
Good evening, everybody. As this board is aware, we had our full-day PD back on November 5th. It went extremely well. Special shout out and thank you to Mrs. Ferguson, who did a wonderful job in organizing this.
With a lot of help.
Mrs. Ferguson, the admin team and I went around to each of the rooms that day in order to see what was taking place in these training sessions. Teachers were engaged and seemed to really enjoy and benefit from the day. I've continued to attend the various sporting events, as our students have mentioned. Our student athletes have continued to impress on and off the field. And, it's kind of a bittersweet moment, we don't realize, but this is our last time that our seniors have competed as a Raider. So special recognition goes out to our seniors. I'm sure it was bittersweet to take the field for the last time. I had the pleasure and honor of escorting our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Courtney Quigley in Hartford, where she was formally recognized by the state. It's always a highlight for me to get to go and to escort our nominee across the stage, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. The entire central office cabinet team had the privilege and honor to attend the various Veterans Day ceremonies that took place throughout the district. We can't all be in one, so we all divided and conquered, so shout out to the cabinet members, but I know I speak for all of them in saying thank you to our veterans for their service, and thank you to our schools for putting on such wonderful celebrations where we get to recognize our veterans, which I know I say it every year, but we definitely do not say thank you enough. So it is one highlight for me to attend those ceremonies, and I know the cabinet shares the same sentiment. We had our beginning of the year alliance meeting with the state, which went very, very well. They commented on our overall growth and continued dedication to helping all of our students achieve. They highlighted and were proud that Forbes School was recognized as a school of distinction for its student growth and for all of the hard work that our teachers and our administrators are putting in daily. Was noted at our meeting. Mrs. Ferguson, myself, and Mrs. Labby attended with our state rep, and he could not be more complimentary of all of the time and effort that our entire team is putting into it. And that is all I have for this evening.
Excellent. Any questions, comments? All right, Human Resources report, Kim.
Okay, well, bear with me, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet, but you have our report. You can see that we do have another teacher vacancy, but we do have some applicants, so I'm confident we're gonna fill that. Our classified vacancies, we filled a few of them, so that's continuing to go down. And the vacancies that we currently have, they are they've been interviewing over the last week or two, so I anticipate recommendations for a lot of those in the coming week before Thanksgiving. Our substitute fill rates continue to trend about the same as where they are. We've been working very closely with our ESS partner. They have shared with me some of their recruiting events that they're going to be going to. So they're going to the Hiring Expo in Hartford. They're going to Naugatuck Valley Community College. Northwest Chamber is having had a job fair in October that they went to. They went to job fairs in Torrington and Waterbury with the Department of Labor, and there is a winter break career fair that they're attending in January. So they've been out and about really trying to continue to build our pool of subs. I think our rates, like I said, have been trending about 30% higher than they were at this time last year. So we're continuing to see that hold steady. Well, we're trying to maybe increase it by about 10% if we can, but that's really what we're working on. Our absences, you can see teachers a little bit higher than where we were in September, but still very, 7.7% is a very respectable number. So that's about 2% less than where it was at this time last year. The 10.5 for the paras is about the same as where it was last year. So I think the attendance incentives, the positive incentives that we're giving them is working. So recruitment efforts, I did do a flyer for our non-certified openings and posted that out. And then I also sent out information for our teacher residency programs that we have. I sent that out to our non-certified staff, and we actually have 3 people who are actually interested. So I actually think we're trending very well with that, because we have our 3 residents from the first year are currently all in classrooms now. Then we have 3 residents currently in district this year that are currently in their year 1 residency. One's for special ed and 2 are elementary. So I think we're doing a really nice job with that program. So thank you to the board for supporting that, because I think our classified staff are really appreciative of the opportunity to be supported to become teachers.
Right,
So
that's great.
that's
I'm glad to
excellent.
see it come to
Yeah,
fruition.
So it's great, continues to be well received, so. We did have our first office hours last month, and I'm pleased to say that we still get a very positive response at every school. At the 3 schools that I went to, and I think all the schools that Takina went to, it was a steady flow all day long. So I think people are really appreciative of us being on site, in person, that they can come down during that time period and they can ask us whatever they want, whether they want to change their taxes information or any whatever that they're looking for. They can do it right on site, right, without having to make a trip down to Midgeon. So they really appreciate that. And then the wellness calendar, I'm very excited to announce that we have worked with our new benefits provider, and I was happy to send it out to the staff this week that we have booked the massage chairs for December for everybody. So the staff is very excited about that. So all the schools will get the benefit of having the on-site massage chair. It'll be covered by our wellness fund, so that we can show our staff how much we appreciate them and that they're able to kind of take that stress release off during the month of December. And then we're looking at doing the yoga again. We're gonna do the walking challenge again, and we're looking at possibly doing some cooking demos and things like that to be able to utilize our wellness fund. So more to come on that, but we're excited to be able to get that going. Second page, you have the same information that I've always provided, kind of the comparison of our ESS and our Torrington subs, and our turnover trends are a little bit better than where they were at this time last year. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Can the board use the massage chairs?
I don't know, the staff might be upset that you're taking away their options.
We'll come
You
after
know,
school.
We can look into it for you.
We're working during the day, so at night, that's perfect
So,
for us.
So,
Thank you, Kim. Anyone have any questions? For Kim? No? Thank you very much.
thank you.
You could rest your voice.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see, special education. Hi, Steve.
How we doing?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Go ahead.
So, not too much of a change over the past month. We see our in-district pre-K went up 13 students. That is gonna be, kind of common this year as expected with the change in the kindergarten eligibility age. This will probably be more of a bubble year for pre-K. We're also across the district, our outplacements did go up by 3. One thing of positive note we do have here is our special ed students in Magnets pro-choice and VOAG schools went down 4 to 38, and if we go back for last year on November 1st, this number was 48, and 22-23 on November 1st, it was 50 students. So more of our students are staying at our typically secondary schools, as that's where the most choice is.
Right.
So that is definitely something that we like to see. And then I don't know if this one was in the packet, Laura had an update about some of the things that were going on in the Thrive program, so if I could pass that additional
Sure.
one around here, very good. Yeah, just got this one right before the meeting today. So just kind of read it around, the good works and amazing teachers in our Thrive programs. So there's a collaborative effort between Vova Wetmore, Forbes, and the TMS Thrive programs for Hurricane Helene. The Thrive programs held a collection drive for a school in the Black Mountain area in North Carolina that were heavily impacted by Hurricane Helene. They collected supplies and encouraged our teachers to have our students create cards for their students so that they know that people are thinking of them. And below we have pictures of the bulletin boards at the school that was created with all the cards. We got an update from one of our Thrive teachers, Dora Carr at TMS. She shared that on Monday, just wanted to share some pictures and the thank you card that we received from AC Middle School in Asheville, North Carolina. Between Forbes, Vogel, and TMS, we received a very generous amount of donations. Some donations were delivered from Amazon, which was great. I did ship 3 boxes and suddenly realized that the cost of shipping is ridiculous. We loaded up the car and made a trip down to deliver in person. I saw some of the devastation, which was heart-wrenching. So kudos to Dora for taking that on and personally hand-delivering the items that were gathered to North Carolina. And then also we have in Forbes Thrive, the Kind Tribe. The Thrive program at Forbes School has been working on a project called the Kind Tribe. The students and staff in Miss Wheeler's class formed a team of both Thrive and general education students to ripple kindness throughout the school and community by performing secret missions. Their first mission did much more than ripple, as they took on the nationwide task described above with their other Thrive partners. In addition, on November 13th, World Kindness Day, the Kind Tribe at Forbes completed a playground pickup. After everything was cleaned, they enjoyed the rest of the time in the sunshine with new friends. There's some nice things going on in our Thrive program.
Really nice things. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Liaison reports. We have, I think Marissa got almost everyone's, they're included in the packet. Did anyone have any questions on that? I'm sorry, did anybody have any questions for Steve? Before we go on? No? And then any questions on the packets, the liaison packets that came out? No? All right. Monthly financials. Donna, welcome to your first full board meeting.
Thank you. Everybody's been so kind. I appreciate it. Very warm welcome. Looking forward to working with everybody. And we all received the monthly financials and they're in the packet with backup, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Did anybody have any questions that didn't get a chance at the board budget meeting? Wow, that was easy. I think they're being kind and gentle tonight because it's
I
your first
appreciate
meeting.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Monthly financials, committee reports, school improvement.
School improvement met a couple weeks ago in this room. We heard reports from Torrington and from Vogel Wetmore. I'm doing it by grade level this time instead of separately by schools, and that went well. And we have big news. The January meeting, we're gonna look at the board's self-evaluation. I don't know if that's big news, but for us it is, because it's the
Big
first
news.
time we've done that. And people responded quite well, and we will be discussing that in committee and then releasing it out to the whole board. So if you want a preview of that, come to the School Improvement Committee meeting. It'll be in the packet anyway. AI has been a big help. It's a lot of fun too, because you can even have it make the reports in, for instance, the way Cole Porter would have written it in lyrics, such as that. Shakespeare, Vernon Dalhart, and I think my favorite though is trochaic tetrameter. The meter that Song of Hiawatha, for instance, or the Raven were written in. It'll do it all, but what you've got is pretty straightforward reports coming up, but that's what we're doing, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm bad.
Thanks for the
Questions?
commentary. Any questions? Thank you for the work on the board of self-evaluation. It was very interesting, the results that came out, and I think it's gonna be a good conversation for
It'll be a
us.
very good discussion, and that discussion we'll have to have a retreat for that. That won't be a regular board meeting.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's something I wanted to talk about after too, we could do that in business. Policy committee. I know I was there, not I think. I was there, right?
But we didn't
We didn't
Oh, we
have
didn't.
one,
It
no.
was that's right, we just did the school improvement.
We're not gonna have policy till January.
Yeah, and then Gary will be back to
Yeah.
take it over.
Yeah.
All set with that. Facilities and tech.
Facilities and tech, from the technology side, Rachel's has done an outstanding job with our new websites. Continuing to improve our social media. And she's working on finishing up our communications as far as making some redundancy with the phone system. Mr. Pagola's doing an outstanding job with what little funds he has from the city to keep our buildings running. He's prioritized his task list very well, and we're utilizing our funds as best we see fit, taking care of things on an emergency basis, more or less, instead of improvements. Retro commissioning project is underway. It seems to be doing well. We don't have a meeting in December neither, but we will in January, and maybe we can get an update on how the retro commissioning is. How long does that go on for?
Should be substantially completed by spring.
By spring?
Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll look for February for a mid-time update, and see how that's going. But retro commissioning is going well, and really focusing on the move. That's gonna be a big task and very time consuming for Dean and his staff. But looking forward to that. Is there anything else either of you guys would like to add that I either forgot or left out?
Mentioned that cybersecurity grant that we got, just wanted to put that out there. Thanks to Donna for helping me put that together, and we were awarded that, so looking forward to starting that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's it. All right, budget committee.
Helen, a new head. We just went over the budget and the timeline for the next budget.
Right. We are gonna meet in December, we have the Zoom, right? For the capital plan to just review that and approve it and forward it to the city. It'll be a quiet month in December. That's it?
That's
Building committee? You wanna speak to that a little bit, just briefly on building, where we're at? Similar to what you kind of updated.
No, it's obviously moving forward, it's looking very good if you haven't been through. A lot of details are getting hashed out now that Rachel and I are involved with, as far as turnovers. Just got to receive the list today of training that we'll be doing for equipment and different apparatuses throughout the school. Also looking at, just stuff that we'll be receiving, additional supplies and things like that. So there's, I can go on for about an hour.
Oh, I know.
There's a lot of stuff going on there, but everything seems to be going pretty well. Everybody's well organized and working together, so.
That's great, good. Yeah, you meet frequently at the trailer, right?
Hmm?
You're frequently at the trailer meeting
Yeah,
with
so,
them?
yeah, more recently, more than
Yeah.
before, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Just about every day there's something going on there, so.
no, I'm sure, down to the wire.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. Any questions? No? All right, BOE minutes, let's see. I'm gonna take this for a second. Or I'm halfway through. Let's see. Board of Ed, all right, so the Board of Ed minutes, I would like to, oh no, they're different. So do I hear a motion to accept the BOE regular meeting minutes of October 23rd?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you.
Glenn and Jack?
Do I hear a motion to approve and receive the special meeting minutes dated November 11th, 2024? There's 3 separate, one at 5 PM, one at 6 PM, one at 7 PM.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor? Subcommittee meeting minutes. Can I receive these in a pen? Okay, I can. All right, so I make a motion to receive in a bundle the subcommittee meeting minutes for facilities and technology of October 9th, policy of October 2nd, school improvement of October 2nd.
So moved.
Second, anyone?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All right, and do I hear a motion to receive the consent agenda, the appointments, retirements, and resignations?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? Sorry.
Second.
Pat?
Patrick, thank you.
New information and action, new course adoptions. These were really great. I wasn't at the meeting, but I did read them beforehand. We have the personal training with a textbook adoption, unified health, and unified phys ed 2. I'm looking for a motion to approve the adoption of those. Any conversation or questions on the courses? All in favor? All right, let's see, do I hear a motion to amend the district calendar for 24-25? I think, before we do that, do you want to have a conversation?
I could speak to the changes,
Okay.
this way I highlight them for everyone.
Perfect.
There's really 2 major changes. The one being, obviously, as everyone knows, surprise, we're moving into a new building. And in order to have everything ready and to ensure the smoothest of transitions, the day after Martin Luther King Day, which would be the 21st, we would need that to be no students and a staff-only day. And the reason being so that the staff can move in and really get acclimated and unpack their stuff, and that Rachel and Dean could be over there doing any just-in-time trainings that may need to be done to do that. So we would not be in violation of any calendar days. It would just be for our high school students only. It would be no students for the high school students only, and it would be a staff-only day for the 21st of January is the one recommendation. And the other, which was a great idea, and this was spoken about with union representation as well, was to flip-flop the March days for parent conferences. And Mr. Putnam actually brought this up at our last meeting as to when people could actually see the building. So they would come in on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of January. Parents and students would get that kind of bit preview tour of our brand new building, basically a week and a half prior to everyone being in full swing. So they would, in lieu of the March meetings. Now, if there were questions, and I know, March is kind of a longer time, teachers are always still available to answer any questions if any students are struggling or whatever, but the formalized meetings would be on those evenings. So those are the only changes to the calendar.
So would that mean that it's open to just the high schoolers or middle schoolers?
Just the high schoolers for this transition.
For this transition, okay, thank
There
you.
will be another one for the middle schoolers, but since that won't be until next year, we'll do that at a different time.
Does that affect the outcome of the
last day of school for THS students?
It does not.
So we're not using one of the 5 days.
We are not.
Okay.
We still meet the statutory number, it's just that one day.
Any other questions? Kristen?
Is there, so by having the conferences in January, it's only 7 weeks after the conferences that we're having this week.
We understand that, and it was really to have everyone be able to tour the building and to limit the number of nights out. Our teachers are contractually obligated for certain evening events, and to make them also get into the building and to welcome parents and students. As I said, if there are questions come March, I mean, it's not, we just will not hold a formalized meeting, but any parent can request a meeting with a teacher, and we're not going to deny that. And historically, the spring conference at our secondary, specifically our high school level, has not been as well attended as our other conference. So that was why when we kind of discussed this, for this year being really abnormal and unusual circumstances with the new building, we did want parents and students to see it before just going in on the 22nd.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Why not make it just like a welcome back night type of thing instead of conferences?
So it's really going to be a welcome back night, but it's going to follow the conference format in terms of you can see your room where your student is going to the class, as opposed to just coming in and everyone trying to tour the building all at once. That's why it's just called a parent conference for language purposes, but it will just be more of a walk around welcome to see exactly to and from the different rooms and following the class schedule.
But contractually, we can't have our teachers come in 3 nights in January and 3 nights in March.
No, I completely understand that. I just personally think it's pointless to have conferences 7 weeks after we're already having them.
I understand, it's more the term, and I understand that, it is gonna be more of a welcome, but using the format of just following. So for example, if I were to go and follow my daughter's schedule, I would just go around the building to see the rooms and meet the teachers in those rooms, rather than everyone just touring the building at once.
Okay.
But so it's more of a term thing, but it's similar to what you're thinking, I believe.
Ellen and then Jeff.
Can you maybe then rename it so it's like Meet the School,
Sure, we can do that, that's not a problem.
so that it's not confusing to parents?
We just kept it for the same language from a contractual standpoint.
I know, but
That's what I was gonna let you were, I was gonna say to Kristen, they're probably doing this because in the contract, it lists out what events. you have.
Well, it's just not necessarily the events, it's the number of days, and that would be 6 nights as opposed to 3.
But it lists it by the event name too.
It does, yeah.
Specifically outlines
it does.
specific names for events.
That's why I thought you
They
were.
have to,
Yeah. So the name may actually have to stay for contractual purposes.
You can put a slash, like conference slash Meet
can.
the
Well,
School or something.
yeah, plus because they are gonna have the opportunity to talk to the teachers and meet with the teachers,
Right.
And
their
there will-
students.
And there will be communication sent out from the high school as well about this, once this was official this evening.
You may see an uptick in participation.
Absolutely.
Any other thoughts or questions on this? All right, so do I hear a motion to adopt the district calendar changes for the 24-25 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Come on and go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm gonna abstain.
So 1 abstention. And then the rest are. Alright. Disposal of obsolete or
Adopt the next one.
oh, the 25-26. Okay, so, we know that time of year already. Do you wanna have a conversation about the 25-26 calendar?
We can, I mean, I pretty much followed very similar format to this past year's calendar. The only big thing to note is that our first day of school will actually be after Labor Day, and that was in coordination with the building committee. They felt very, very strongly about having that extra time for the middle school to be really ready and operational, so.
It gives them almost an extra week, week and a half.
Exactly. So we were okay with starting it on the day after Labor Day. Everything remains the same. We worked closely with both the teachers union and the administrators union on the 25-26 calendar, and took their suggestions. You know, for example, one of the welcome back nights is going to take place in August for our our K-6 buildings as opposed to just our Ks, because they thought that was some great success with our K visitations in August before the school started to really go in and get a feel for the buildings. And obviously with next year being some new buildings and some changes, they thought that that was appropriate. So that was also one of the highlights to change. Our PD schedule does remain the same, and our calendar remains the same, and knock on wood, if Mother Nature likes us, June 11th will be our last day. If Mother Nature doesn't like us, then it would be June 18th, and dare I go further than that.
Please
I'd like
don't.
to have a good relationship with Mother Nature, so I'm gonna pretend we still have a good relationship. So the calendar is pretty much the same other than that change.
Is the April vacation back to where it was?
So because of, we did piggyback it this year with Good Friday, but because Good Friday is so early next year, we kind of had Good Friday and then a pause, and then
Okay.
the following week. So it's similar to has it been in years past.
Yeah, I think, because we've usually been this week that we have it for next year.
Yep.
This year, there was some feedback that it was super late, yeah, okay. All right, any questions or conversation on the calendar, proposed calendar? I'm surprised, no, okay. Do I hear a motion to adopt the 25-26 school calendar?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Disposal of obsolete or surplus equipment and materials. Who's that?
So I'll take this, it's really Dean, but he took one for me last time, so I'll. This is something that Dean and I have been working on, and we've shared at facilities committee with Glenn. What we'd like to do is have, once the building is closed, we're going to send a letter to the mayor and to make sure that the mayor is okay with it in terms of how we are going to get rid of any of the materials. So the process would be that we will take any materials needed for existing buildings from the high school, since the high school will be demolished. And then we will have kind of a walkthrough for anyone in the community, and any items that they wish to take, they will tag and take. We will not be a holding service, but any items that they wish to carry out that day, they will be able to do that. With the notion, we're gonna do this over 2 or 3 days, and I forget what we have in the calendar, Dean, so I apologize, but it's 2 or 3 days. And then after that, whatever's left is left, and unfortunately will be, as part of the contract, will be demoed and demolished. So procedurally, that is our disposal of obsolete equipment and materials right from the policy. I will send a letter to the mayor, making her aware of this is what we would like to do. Hopefully the mayor is in agreement, because obviously any community member, if they really wanted to come and get a chair, for example, that would be their time to get a chair.
Yeah, they pay for it, right?
And I think it's a wonderful way to give back to the community on the items that we've used community funds for. So if the board is in favor of that, we will draft a letter on the board's behalf, send it to the mayor, and then we will send notification out to everyone, letting us know our plan and letting the community know the dates. You know, and I want to stress again, that it's not a tag and hold. Other districts have done this, and that's where Dean and I borrowed the idea from. I don't want to say stole, but the piece is, if someone wants that chair, they can't come back 3 days later and get that chair. They come and they take it. So it's a lot to ask, especially if someone's by themselves, and I understand that, but if they come during the first part and want to come later in that same day, that's a different story. We're not going to hold it for 3 or 4 or 5 days. So that's the plan, and I think that kind of answers the questions of how we can properly dispose of any of the materials.
And then, do we have to do, for what's left, do we have to inventory any of that for taxes or anything like that? No? Okay. Go, oh, Jeff, sorry.
Are we limiting the amount that any one person or one party can take? And as a follow-up, from a safety perspective, are we allowing people to come in with drills and screwdrivers and take doors off lockers? Like, where's the limit to
The limit
what
is,
somebody's doing?
anything that's not bolted down, if they wanted to come in, obviously from that safety concern, the limit to how much someone can take, we kind of threw it around, but we didn't think it was going to be someone running in just to tag everything and take everything, because that would be a huge, and they would need a semi-trailer, I would think, but We could
Stuff with one.
I mean, we definitely can entertain that. If you'd like to put a 10 limit item, we can certainly do that. We're
I
not
don't think
opposed
we need
to
to
it.
limit anything. If somebody shows up with a tractor trailer and wants to take all that, fill it, let them take it. Right? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you're scheduling, how people are getting scheduled into the building.
So the 3 days, it's going to be, and I think we did different, we staggered some times, like one was an earlier time if somebody was available earlier, but not when students are there, obviously, and the rest go into the evening. Not super late, but because then Dean will be there with his crew, as well as other people from central office to ensure that safety when people are in the buildings, because they still have the lobby and it's still our building.
So it's open to anybody, if that, anybody who's, will prove they're a Torrington resident,
That's
like
correct, yeah.
driver's license type thing.
There's been interest from the public that they would like a locker, since they're.
So,
What's gonna happen to the lockers if?
The problem with the lockers and people always wanting, and I'm not saying, it becomes a strain on us to try to disassemble them and make them available. It would be a lot to ask any of our current staff. We hadn't had a plan to disassemble any lockers and put those out for the take because those are secured to the wall. So those wouldn't be an item where they can grab and go.
So what would be done with the lockers, then they would just be destroyed
That, as part of the contract from the building committee, yes,
or scrapped?
correct.
And then, as I said, the locker door before, only because I read a little bit about some of the other districts and what they've done. Depending on the manufacturer of the locker, apparently some of them aren't horrible to take the door off rather than the entire assembly, but if I didn't
Well,
look.
is that
And these
now
are-
or was that in 1960
That was a
when they
long
were
time.
built?
Well,
These are the ones that are horrible to take apart.
Yeah.
And they're
not the whole
modular.
locker, I mean just the.
No, even the door itself, there's certain pins in them that are
Yeah,
just, I've done it before, and even to take, like, if you said, oh, I just want a locker, well, you'd have to disassemble all of these,
I agree. I was just thinking the
Yeah.
door, if it was screwed, if the hinges
take a
were screwed
picture
on
of
the
one, you'd be
inside.
fine.
They're not individual, they're in sections.
We
They're
can
all
sign the
sections,
folder.
they're all sections,
Take a
and they're all
picture of
bolted
your
together,
Right.
kind
I'll
of
stand
like,
there and sign.
Yeah. They were there to stay.
they're there to stay.
2 quick questions. Is there a time frame on this? Like, when do we anticipate being able to open to the public to let them?
So after the high school moves, I believe first I will send a letter to the mayor, assuming the mayor's
Yeah,
okay
of
with
course.
it. I think it's a week and 2 days, Dean, correct me if I'm wrong, when we figured out, because we have a certain time frame that we can do it, because then O&G has to get in there and start their abatement process. So it's roughly a week after we open the doors for the new students, a week and 2 days, give or take, somewhere like that.
Okay, and someone mentioned being a Torrington resident, but I would assume a former Torrington resident would be sufficient, correct?
Certainly, I mean, they were here
Yeah, if
for
they
the
went
time.
to school there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
What
the
difference does it
point,
make?
and I don't wanna speak for the person who asked the question, I think just so that we don't take any outsiders before taking our own community members first, I'm assuming that was the purpose of the question.
Great.
But yes, if the person was a former Torrington High
Sure.
graduate and wanted to come down and grab their desk that they used to sit in the period 8 math class, I think that would be
If they can remember which one it was.
Exactly.
For clarification, that was the question, was in regards to if somebody came in with a tractor trailer and they lived in Manchester, had never been to Torrington before, and they were trying to come in and grab it all for scrap value or something, that was the idea behind the question, that's all.
Alright, so I guess there's no really action on this. You can, okay, so yeah, we will I hear a motion to give Michael the authority to write a letter to Mayor Carbone requesting our process be approved. Anybody?
So moved.
I'll make the motion with just the ask that maybe we put some verbiage in it that says we reserve the right to limit.
Sure.
That way we're not saying.
In the letter, or-
Well, when you go to do it, I don't know what you have
Well,
to
it
write
would
to the
be-
city.
Are you talking about like an announcement to the public or to the letter requesting that we can do this at all?
I'm not sure how detailed your letter has to be, so you decide if it needs to be in there or not.
No problem.
Anyone wanna second that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Glenn and John?
Yes. Authorized signer for claims, food service, we need to do that again for Kristen, do we have to read that whole thing? I do.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Where is it? That's okay. Let me get it, I forgot about that. Didn't we just do that? I think I did this last month.
It was,
Not last month, but recently.
it was recently, yeah.
but now we need a new signer, so
All right, and it's just this
you're
one
right though,
page?
Kristen.
Just the one page, all right. Instructions for completing the authorized signatures change form. The ED-099 Agreement for Child Nutrition Programs, in parentheses, agreement, is the formal agreement between a sponsoring organization and the Connecticut State Department of Education, CSDE, to operate one or more of the U.S. Department of Agriculture's child nutrition programs. The agreement designates representatives authorized to enter into an agreement with the CSDE and certifies the claims for reimbursement. The agreement is permanent and amended as changes occur. The CSDE recognizes that one or both authorized signers will change periodically. The sponsoring organization must execute the CSDE's authorized signature change form whenever there is a change to either of the two authorized signers. Claims for reimbursement are valid only when certified by authorized signers on file with the CSDE. Action by the Board of Education must occur to make changes to authorized signers so that claims can be signed and submitted and reimbursed, and reimbursement delays are avoided. Required information. The authorized signatures change form must include the information below. Date of the board meeting is when the governing body of the sponsoring organization took action to change one or both authorized signers. Signature 1 is the designated representative authorized to sign the agreement for child nutrition programs and to sign claims for reimbursement. The person is the head of the governing body, for example, the chief officer elected or appointed to assume legal responsibility for the organization, superintendent of schools, the mayor, selectman, corporate president, chairperson of the board, pastor, or commissioner. Signature 2 is authorized only to sign the claims for reimbursement in the absence or incapacity of the first designated individual, assistant superintendent, business official, principal, headmaster, city or town manager, executive director, or deputy commissioner. Signature 3 certifies the board action is not authorized to sign the claim. This must be a different person from signatures 1 and 2, secretary of the board, town clerk, or secretary of the corporation. Submitting to the CSDE, scan and email the signed and dated authorized signature change form to cnpermanentagreement@ct.gov. Include authorized signatures change form in the subject line of the email. Do I hear a motion to authorize Kristen Gagnon to be the new authorized signer? Oh, and Donna, oh, you're changing both of you. Oh, it's for Donna too.
Yes.
Okay, and Donna, Labby, and Superintendent Wilson.
Second.
All in favor?
Who was first?
Pat.
Thank you.
All right. Possible executive session regarding discussion concerning the interim director of finance contract. Do I hear a motion to enter into executive session, inviting in Superintendent Wilson? Do we need anybody else? And that would be it. Jeff and who second that, please?
Oh, second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
16.
Yeah. Sort of, not.
We are back in open session at 6:39 PM. And I would like to hear a motion to accept the terms and conditions of the interim director of finance contract.
So moved.
Second, whatever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right, thank you very much. Items for upcoming agenda. So we have the basic stuff. I did do a few notes. Marissa, we definitely want the district mascot on there. And colors, we'll talk about that. Although, you know what, would that be a facilities conversation? Sorry, everything, don't you and John.
Well, Jeff usually likes to pawn things off on other committees, so I think it's appropriate if Jeff was
If it goes
tossed
to
one.
facilities.
I don't know.
I don't know, it should be policy.
School improvement.
I was-
It's not a policy.
I think it is
School
policy.
improvement.
Policy, yeah?
Policy or school improvement?
All right, so we'll
Punt
punt
it
it
to
to
Gary.
policy, yep, it's going
Poor
to Gary.
Gary.
That's what he
I don't know how
gets for
Jeff gets
taking a
out of that
sabbatical,
one.
you know.
Everything always came to me. so-
Self-evaluation should be ready for the January meeting.
Yep, I have that, the
January.
self-eval on there, redistrict recommendations. I think that's it. Do we wanna talk about a board retreat in December? I'll just not talk about it right now, I don't mean that, but I'll reach out to everybody, or do we wanna wait until the beginning of January?
Is that the December 11th or is that something different?
That's our capital plan discussion
Okay,
Zoom meeting.
okay.
We could jump on that.
Except that if
I didn't know, I
we're
was
gonna be
just
talking about
asking.
self-evaluation, that won't be processed through school improvement until January anyway.
Oh, okay, so then we don't need to do anything right now, okay. All right. Anything else anyone can think of for items other than the usual? No? All right, comments for the good of the order. We'll start with our guest of honor, you're down the end of the table. Any comments for the good of the order?
Just nice to be here, that's all.
Thank you for coming. We haven't had a representative from the city.
Well, I hope to come
Ever.
every month as long as my schedule allows it, so
All right, thank you.
you're welcome.
Kristen?
Nothing major, good meeting, thank you.
Nothing.
At the school improvement committee meeting, I recognized that Josh stayed to keep us going, even though he really belonged someplace else, and commended him for that. I forgot to mention that Rachel came in on her night off, and so we could keep going. I just want to mention that too. And another thing I have to say, and there's a lot that could be said about the results of the last election, but I would not want us to forget how much good Michelle Cook has done, how much energy and how much of a presence she has been in her service as state rep. And I don't want to embellish it at all,
Right, I
just
understand.
say that, we need to
Yeah,
recognize that.
especially for the district, for,
And happy Thanksgiving.
thank you, John.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and enjoy all of your holidays, since we won't see you again before the holidays. Enjoy it with family and friends, it's an important time of year for that, and thanks for all your hard work.
Good meeting, I'll echo the Thanksgiving wish, and, always very nice to have you here.
Thank you, Carl.
Hope to see you some more.
I'll be here.
All right, excellent.
Mr. Wilson?
Great meeting, happy Thanksgiving to all, and thank everyone for their hard work. That includes the board, it's a thankless job, and we also recognize that on our side, so thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Wonderful to be part of the team in this capacity. I thank everyone for their support, and I look forward to serving families in Torrington in this new role. So thank you all.
Thank you. You're doing two jobs. Kim?
Same thing, great meeting, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for letting me fill in, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for coming. Dean?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Rachel?
Congratulations to Donna and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Marissa?
Congratulations to Donna. I'm very excited.
Josh?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and to our staff that's left out there. And the big echo, everybody's gone, thank you all. And do I hear future meetings, December 11th, the Zoom we just talked about. Wednesday, January 8th at Midgeon, the 15th at Midgeon, and the 29th. Make note, our January meeting is the last Wednesday of the month, not the third week or fourth week. it kind of threw me. We've all come to meetings on our birthday, I don't wanna hear
Oh, when do I?
it. And, motion to adjourn. Second, anybody?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You could never, ever been this quiet, I'm sorry. You can't even get a second on anybody.